CEO Jimbo Show, starring Jimbo, CEO Jimbo, James. Hello, everybody. It's James of the CEO Jimbo Show. I have another show for you, again on MH370, the Boeing 777 that is currently lost, that disappeared just under 10 years ago, and so on. This is maybe about my third or fourth in a row on this, as you may know. It's almost midnight here on Monday night, and just finally getting to this now. Try to cut to the chase here. This subject or subject is really on a new discovery by me. I mean, I may be the last to hear these things, and you already know this, but I found it. I learned of another witness. I was telling you about the 5 that I knew from Wikipedia, and there's a 6th one. This lady that was on a airline flight from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, to Kuala Lumpur, Indonesia, or Malaysia, and so on. I guess she went from here to her Mecca event, and then now she was returning, and she was on a flight here as a passenger, and she says that she just crossed this city of Chennai, India, and saw down on the water what she thought was an aircraft. She saw the wings and the tail of the aircraft on water, and then the flight went on to land at Kuala Lumpur, and I guess she didn't tell anybody during the flight. She just kind of pondered what she saw, and it sounds like maybe just after landing or so, she reported this to the authorities. And I guess a report was taken, and so on. This was my initial drawing of this, and I just was writing it a little bit from memory, and I saw my memory had it that what I just read, it said saw wingtip and tail, but then I reread it, and she clearly said that she thought that she saw the wings and the tail of the aircraft on the water, which implies both wingtips, both horizontal stabilizer tips, to me, I suppose. Anyway, so I went on and I tried a different drawing of this. Here it is again. And no, this was in the same article, I believe, where this article questioned, did the aircraft crash here, roughly where the lady said that she saw the aircraft sitting on the water. And they showed currents, that the ocean currents go down this way. They come in kind of this way. And this is, there was sort of a to-do about some debris that was spotted down here in the air, just west of Perth, in the search down there, that no one found up close. They saw it from the air. They kind of tried to get a boat to it, and the boat could not find it. There was actually, I think, a couple of them. One was like fishhook shape, and the other one, I'm not sure what the other one was. Maybe there were several. Maybe there was just one fishhook shaped thing. But anyway, there was something about that. So this is kind of a drawing of somebody else's drawing in that same article, I believe it was. Then I did this drawing. I refined it. Here it is again. I didn't show all the way to Jeddah, but this is coming from Jeddah. It took off at 8:30 a.m. the day of the disappearance. The aircraft took off at 12:30 a.m. and so this was right around just after sunset. That and so on. And here's that Chennai city in India that she said that that it was just past Chennai, and it was SV, whatever that is, flight 2058 into Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, right here, and so on. So this is this. And then another odd thing is in Wikipedia, they talk about the UK lady in the sailboat, and it says that she was in the ocean, the Indian Ocean, when she spotted the aircraft burning in flight, or an aircraft in flight on fire. And I looked up that, and she actually traveled from Kochi, India, with her husband. Her husband was on board that flight, but she was the one that spotted it, to this is kind of a I'll let you try to pronounce it. It rhymes with bucket, I suppose. It's kind of not a good word in United States, but I think it's it's, I have to work on that one. I'm a little shy of this city, but it's rucket, that kind of thing. And anyway, so this sailboat journey was here, and at some point she looked up, well, during her night watch, and she said that she saw an aircraft on fire. So it must have not been in the Indian Ocean. It must have been kind of more in the Bay of Bengal, this L Sea, whatever that is, Laccadicia Sea or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they went south of the Maldives and around and came back up. I don't know. But, at some point they kind of ended the journey at Phuket, Thailand. And then they reported this after that. I guess they did not have a radio on board. It kind of sounds like to me. So they actually completed their journey, and then they reported it many days after the disappearance. But anyway, if you notice, these two paths cross. So, the lady on the sailboat at some point made her witness report. This lady made her witness report. There were several fishermen right in this spot that said that they saw the aircraft on the water. It landed on water, crashed on water, or something like that. But there were several that kind of came forth and said that they saw it like crash on the water. And I think that they used the Sea of Magala or whatever that is. But this is sort of the mouth of it, and there's like a drawing. I don't know if I'm going to find that, but there's a drawing in that same article showing that the fishermen were reporting like a spot right here where my index finger is, right here. So if you just maybe that they're off a little bit, maybe it's right here. So you got three groups of people that basically say that they saw the aircraft, one of them in flight. Maybe it flew over here, came back around and crashed on the water. But this group and this group said that they saw the aircraft down on the water right in this spot. So maybe, I've got my Calypso hat on here. Maybe if I was going to send a RUV or whatever you call those things down to kind of have a look-see, maybe this would be the spot, and so on. Where am I going with this? I have a little simulation set up here. Hopefully you can hear all this, but this is this represents Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, and this cork represents the airport, and the wood floor represents ocean, and this newspaper represents India. Remember that city, whatever it was, where the lady kind of was over, and she said that somewhere just in the water out past it, somewhere she saw the aircraft with wings, the wings on the water. So there's that point, and then down here a little bit, she said she saw the wings and tail of an aircraft somewhere, and then this one way down here, newspaper with the cork on it, represents Kuala Lumpur. The cork is Kuala Lumpur, and that's Malaysia. So if we take off from here, Jeddah, and let's say that she's in the, somewhere on the side here, looking out the side, she's going to kind of see things a little bit, you know, after the nose kind of thing. So she comes along and she sees the K and Kelly there and so on. That's nice. Or over Saudi Arabia, I recognize this kind of thing. I think she does this like every year too, so she probably knows the route a little bit. So she knows that, now she's over some water for the first time in this flight, so she knows that what the body is better than me, because I don't know exactly what body of that water that is. And so it's going to come up on another landmass here. This is India. And so now she's looking down and she's over land now. And she's going to come up on this city right here. There's the airport of it, Chennai, India. And then she's going back over water again. She looks down and all she sees is water. She's moving along here, looking down, still just water down, maybe drink, eat some meat, water. And well, look at that. That looks like wings and tail of an aircraft. We were just out of Jeddah, so it must have been just out of Jeddah. And then, here's land again, too. So we're heading on in, and this is Kuala Lumpur. And nice landing there. So now that they're in Kuala Lumpur, she has her story to tell, so she's going to go tell the authorities that she thought that she saw an aircraft just after they crossed over whatever that city is in India or whatever. So anyway, the point here is, look at the distance here. There's the airport. There's that. That plane is almost at Kuala Lumpur. But when you do it this way, it seems like, just there it was. Just what's the name of that place? Chennai. It's like, oh yeah, it's just right near Chennai. But look at this also. It's just, but it seems like it's really close to Chennai because you just crossed over Chennai and there it was. So anyway, we're almost ready to wrap it up here. There was other topics. I've been researching other flights that are sort of like somewhat related to this, like Swiss Air 111. I just watched a video on that, on fires and so on. I watched the UPS Flight 6, I think it was, on fires. And there's also one that I haven't mentioned yet. I just learned about this, I think, since last video. There was a 747 that crashed in the Maritaris area. This is a book on it. Right here. Here's where the authorities think that MH370 is. Australia, Perth. The parts were found right around Madagascar and so on. But here's Mauritius, and there's a 747 that is partially found, partially lost, right in the deep water here, where it took off from, I think maybe Taiwan or somewhere like that, and it came across here. It did report into Mauritius that it was, and it was supposed to land in Mauritius, that it was had a fire alarm in the front main deck or something like that. And they started to deal with that, go through their checklist and so on. And then the pilot reported that, he thought that they were going to crash. They were just really on fire and losing control of the aircraft and everything. And it did. It ended up like crashing into the water here somewhere. And a search went on for that for like, I think maybe a month or two or something like that. And a private company was chartered to go down and search for it. And within just like 2 days of the search company starting, they did find the cockpit voice recorder. But to this day, the flight data recorder has not been found. And that aircraft, that wreckage is like scattered on a mountain, underwater mountain down there, where the main wreckage is like, say 4,000 meters or something like that, and the tail and that was like 5,000 meters down or something like that. I think that like 11,000 feet was the main wreckage, and 13 or 14,000 feet was the cockpit voice recorder. So it's like, kind of scattered on steep cliff type terrain down there, if you will. So anyway, I could go on and on. I wrote down a bunch of questions, and I'm just not getting to those today. I had a problem last time, as you know, maybe about me not being able to get my film in there straight, and it was kind of like rotated 90 degrees. And I think that's kind of because it was too long, and my camera has too little memory to like rotate it when that happens. It just sometimes does that, it sometimes doesn't. And on shorter videos, if it does, I can just rotate it. But this one just seemed to be too long and take too much memory to rotate it, because it duplicates the program in there. So I actually temporarily have, 2 copies of this until I delete the first copy. Anyway, that's about it. And I guess just more later. So much more to this. And I'm just really trying to kind of figure out, even come up with sort of a thesis of my own, and so on. But just everything sort of has, every measure has its countermeasure. Every argument has its counter argument, and it's like 50-50 instead of like 90-10 and so forth at this point. So, that's where I'm at. Anyway, I hope you like this. Hope it helps. Cheers, be well, and please thumbs up, subscribe, tell all your friends, and have just a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.